Nathan Fletcher, welcome to Evening Edition.
Thank you. Good to be with you.
Yeah, no, you're a veteran. However, this foundation, Three Wise Men, is actually named after three of your cousins. Tell us about that.
You know, when I was a little guy growing up, my closest friend was my cousin Jeremy Wise. And he had two younger brothers, Ben Wise and Bo Wise, and so we called them the Three Wise Men. And it was the three of them and me and my little brother. We grew up together, we camped, we played. We all joined the military together. There's this assumption when you're a child that you're going to live through life with your childhood friends. But tragically, we lost Jeremy to a suicide bomber in Afghanistan in 2009. And then 2 years later, we lost Ben in a firefight in Afghanistan. And so Bo Wise is now the sole surviving son. He's kind of saving Private Ryan. He remains on active duty in the Marine Corps. And it just hit me that of all the tragedies that we lose, the ones that we spend the most time on are those we lost in combat, Jeremy and Ben, but the focus needs to be on Bo. Those veterans who survived combat and making sure they can survive the peace. And that really is the point of the Three Wise Men Foundation, is helping them. And
that's my next question. You know, why did you start it? Is it to help all veterans, certain specific veterans?
You know, when I hold and I'm around Jeremy and Ben's kids, you know, their boys are about the same age as my boys, and they're boys who will never know their dad. And when I'm around their mom, this is a mom who lost her children. It's heartbreaking and it's tragic, but it's not as tragic as the mom whose son survives combat and comes home and commits suicide, or the child who loses their parent to suicide. And so it really hit me that in America, we're losing between 22 and 50 veterans a day are killing themselves. And we have to do a better job. We have a moral obligation to these veterans to let them know that we care, to let them know that we love them, to let them know that it's okay to struggle, but they need to have the courage to call and ask for help. And they fought for us for years, and so this is our opportunity to now fight for them a little bit.
Is it the mission of the foundation? Is it specifically focused on suicide prevention? It is.
Well, it's focused on returning veterans. So it's three things. We want to raise awareness of the problem. So many Americans aren't aware that we have this epidemic of veteran suicide. The second thing we want to do is directly reach the veterans. They're hard to reach when they leave active duty. And then we want to connect them. There's so many programs that are doing great work, and we want to connect them to those programs and help facilitate that. And those are the three things we're going to focus on.
And that brings me to this next idea of how is this foundation different from the many organizations here in San Diego to help veterans?
Well, we're here to partner with those organizations. So this year, for example, Courage to Call is a 211, 24/7 veteran staffed hotline that does great work. But they said, hey, we have a hard time getting veterans to call. And so we're going to help provide that bridge. We're going to raise awareness of the issues they face. We're going to reach directly to the veterans and then connect them to programs like Courage to Call that are already out there.
What do you think would help most San Diego veterans? What would maybe be the first step in helping them? Your foundation or getting them to a central place? Do you have an idea?
Well, I spent about the last year talking to leaders in the veterans community, talking to folks at the VA, talking to folks who run organizations, and said, what is most needed? What is most helpful? And really what came back to this was getting to the veterans with the direct message of compassion and love, and from a surrogate that they'll listen to, from someone else who served, and then connecting them to the programs that already exist. And they said that's where a lot of the breakdown is. And so our first event in October, we're doing on the deck of the Midway, is a CrossFit style competition that's hugely popular with veterans. We have a lot of athletes that are going to record public service announcements. We have entertainers and musicians, folks that veterans will listen to. And we're going to bring them out and say, look, you had the courage to fight for our country. Now you need to have the courage to call and ask for help. Come out to the Midway, hang out with some fellow veterans, be a part of a community, and get connected directly with those that will provide you the help.
And is that also a fundraiser? That's the October fundraiser,
that's
or is
right.
that something different?
No, that's the same. That's a fundraiser. And the proceeds will go directly to organizations that are providing services directly to veterans. And then we're going to follow that up on Veterans Day. Veterans Day is the day, Memorial Day, we honor those who died. Veterans Day is the day we honor all of those veterans who lived. And so on Veterans Day, we're going to have a national movement where we're going to have similar events to that in all 50 states across the country. So every community can reach out to their veterans with a message of compassion and love, bring them in, bring in the service providers who are there and help connect them.
And this is a very ambitious foundation. It looks like as far as what you want to do. How is it funded?
So we're going to be funded through donations. We've already secured a number of donations, and we're going to go out and we're going to, you know, for years I spent a lot of energy and effort raising a lot of money for a lot of things. But this will probably be more important than anything I've ever done. And I'm not shy at asking for help.
All right. Three Wise Men founder Nathan Fletcher, thanks very much.
Great to be with you. Thanks.